11. Then Ulf spake, the prophet who in Sistramides lives in a temple anciently dedicated to the gods. Rumor hath guessed that there the gods walked once some time towards evening. But time, whose hand is against the temples of the god, hath dealt harshly with it, and overturned its pillar, and set upon its ruins his sign and seal. Now Ulf dwells there alone. And Ulf said, There sets, O king, a river outward from earth, which meets with a mighty sea, whose waters roll through space and fling their billows on the shores of every star. These are the river and the sea of the tears of men. And the king said, Men have not written of this sea. And the prophet answered, Have not tears enough burst in the night time out of sleeping cities? Have not the sorrows of 10,000 homes sent streams into this river when twilight fell and it was still and there was none to hear? Have there not been hopes, and were they all fulfilled? Have there not been conquests and bitter defeats? Have not flowers when spring was over died in the gardens of many children? Tears enough, O king, tears enough have gone down out of the earth to make such a sea, and deep it is and wide, and the gods know it, and it flings its spray on the shores of all the stars. Down this river and across this sea thou shalt fare in a ship of sighs, and all around thee over the sea shall fly the prayers of men, which rise on white wings higher than their sorrows. Sometimes perched in the rigging, sometimes crying around thee, shall go the prayers that availed not to stay thee in Zarkantu. Far over the waters and on the wings of the prayers beat the light of an inaccessible star. No hand hath touched it, none hath journeyed to it. It hath no substance. It is only a light. It is the star of hope, and it shines far over the sea and brightens the world. It is not but a light, but the gods gave it. Led only by the light of this star, the myriad prayers that thou shalt see all around thee fly to the hall of the gods. Sighs shall waft thy ship of sighs over the sea of tears. Thou shalt pass by islands of laughter and lands of song, lying low in the sea, and all of them drenched with tears flung over their rocks by the waves of the sea, all driven by the sighs. But at last thou shalt come with the prayers of men to the great hall of the gods, where the chairs of the gods are carven of onyx, grouped round the golden throne of the eldest of the gods. And there, O king, hope not to find the gods, but reclining upon the golden throne, wearing a cloak of his master's, thou shalt see the figure of Time, with blood upon his hands, and loosely dangling from his fingers a dripping sword, and spattered with blood, but empty shall stand the onyx chairs. There he sits on his master's throne, dangling idly his sword, or with it flicking cruelly at the prayers of men that lie in a great heap, bleeding at his feet. For a while, O king, the gods have sought to solve the riddles of time. For a while they made him their slave, and Time smiled and obeyed his masters. For a while, O king, for a while. He that hath spared nothing hath not spared the gods, nor yet shall he spare thee. Then the king spake dolefully in the hall of kings, and he said, May I not find at last the gods? And must it be that I may not look in their faces at last to see whether they be kindly? They that have sent me on my earthward journey I would greet on my returning, if not as a king coming again to his own city, yet as one who having been ordered had obeyed, and obeying has merited something of those for whom he toiled. I would look them in their faces, O prophet, and ask them concerning many things. I would know the wherefore of much. I had hoped, O prophet, that those gods that had smiled upon my childhood, whose voices stirred at every evening in the gardens when I was young, would still hold dominion when at last I came to seek them.